brass has been driving me nuts trying to figure out how to do it and hide, not have these big thick lines. And this is my sixth piece of brass, I think. It took me that many. To get it sorted out, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, my first one. Talk about a challenge. Whew. I got the Puukko glued up. Really pleased with it so far. So I'm kind of happy that this is coming the way it is. But it was a daunting task doing this brass and getting it to fit. And I've learned what not to do and what to do next time. So I'm hoping once this is done, I can try another one. I can get some more steel, and I'll try another and go from there. It's a learning step. I've learned how to do this by watching videos and kind of my little bit of knife experience that I already have. So I thought I'd give it a shot, and so far so good. But I do know it's going to be somewhat oval shaped. I'm going to have to take my time and continually dipping this in water because of the fact that the brass, I got to shape the brass, and the brass will get warm really fast. I'd like to do some dremeling on this. I'd like to do some shaping or some fancy dremeling on it too. So I might give that a little whirl as well. But thought I'd show you guys what it would be like. So all right, let's get going. Kind of happy with what I have. But there's a big but in that one. So, get this. I didn't clean the whole blade, so there's carbonization on it and everything, so forgive me for that one. I didn't clean the blade on that, but so I did. I took it to 400 grit, and that was basically to just try to start cleaning the edge of the brass around here. But so far, like I said, it's. If you notice, I was dipping it a lot. So let me show you here real quick. Okay, so this is what I have. Again, I was talking about not having such a sweeping belly on it before, but as I started to hold the knife, as I continued to hold it, it just seemed. I guess it's just me, but I had there's the back end, like I wanted that sweep. And again, this is I still got to hand sand this, but there's that sweep right there, and it's kind of like a Rapala knife. This is similar to the Rapalas, and I don't have one in here right now, but it's oh yeah, here it is. Here we go. So the Rapala, if you guys haven't heard, this is a Finnish knife. They're very popular for fishing. It's a fillet knife, and what I was doing is mimicking, without having pulled it out, I was mimicking the curve. So not too bad, kind of going by memory. So that's nice. Now what you'll notice is the Rapala has that right there, and that's for your finger. This part of your finger right in there. So if I were to take this out, so your finger lands in there. And you get the brass up there, but that's just a cap. So the brass, that little finger spot right there for your front finger, that's kind of nice to go like that. So it kind of grabs well. And then this for here. Well, that's what I was trying to kind of mimic it a little bit. And so I think I did it. I got that. You can see here it's not as pronounced with the etching, the engraving in the wood, but I have it right there. And what was really nice is I was able to keep this shape, which I really like a lot, and then I was able to taper it, so it's actually skinnier here than it is back here. And again, showing it in hand, It's really nice, and being a big enough hand for a glove, I think it would work out pretty good. And I really like how the woods are starting to kind of come out. Now this is all going to be sanded. This is what the 400 grit hit, and this is not. So, but I still have some sanding to do in here. I got to get some sanding on the edges here, and of course I got to do all this. But there was one thing that came up in this situation that I don't like, and furthermore, it's one of the reasons why I don't like plunge tangs or rat tail tangs. Okay guys, and this is the caveat. This is the learning experience in all this. That was about an hour of slowly grinding down. Again, having, working everything, and as I mentioned before about where the tang plunged in, well, I guess the best way is just to show you is that. And you see that? I thought that I burnt the wood because this is stabilized curly maple, and this is cocoa bolo right here, and I did the liners, black and cinnamon fiber liners. I thought I burnt it. That's epoxy. Yeah. When I first saw it, it was really dull, and I bet you if I didn't say anything, most of you would have thought that it was just wood. It was a wood burn. It's not. When you get this wet, I can see the light from the grinder. I can see the tang in the epoxy slightly. Yeah, it killed me when I saw that. And then I washed it off, and I looked at the pencil lines that I still have here on the knife. That's going to come through or not. Those little pencil lines I drew you guys. And I kind of looked at it a little bit, and I followed it down. And of course I did them on this side, so there's no mistake on this side. But the pencil line, if I were to try to carry it over slightly, I just drew my pencil line right there. And that pencil line comes right down, even with virtually what that is. So, yeah, well, it's my knife, that's for sure. I highly doubt anybody would want to buy this after I hand sand it down to 600 grit and get it all cleaned up. I highly doubt anybody's going to want to buy that when you got that little mistake right there. Hey, I'm off in here. Well, that's what I'm off. You guys, the flying carpenter ants, they get that, it's that time of the season for us. They taste like almonds. Just thought I'd let you know. Anyhow, yeah, so that's epoxy. Now, is it going to bother me? Yes, immensely, because the OCD in me is going to have a field day with this. But it's also going to be a remembrance of my mistake. It also teaches me something else. I tried to make the tang, the plunge tang, the hidden tang, as wide as possible. I think I did it 3/4 of an inch. The steel's inch right here. This is inch. I think maybe that was 5/8. That's what it was. I think the tang was 5/8 of an inch. I wanted to make it as wide as possible because hidden tangs are not really the best tang to have for a knife. It's not the best kind of knife to have. There's guys out there, so I've had mine for years, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you have, and they've been made forever, but the fact that we can turn around and we can make a full tang knife, whether it's tapered or just a full tang, we can do that and lighten it up by drilling holes in it and everything else, then we have a much better knife. The onsets of epoxies and the pins, by far a full tang knife is the way to go. But there's guys that still do this, and you get pretty creative with it. But the one thing I learned is a lot of them, their tang is thin. And I like to make a knife that it's useful. I want to be able to sit back and really feel comfortable that you can take my knife and beat it up. You're going to beat the piss out of it, and it's going to be fine. If I make a 1-inch wide knife, and I only make a 1/2 inch or less tang, and even making it shorter than what I did, again, my tang was, I think this was 8 3/4 overall length, 8 1/2. I got 4 3/8. I got 4 3/8 on that right now. close to 4.5, yeah, 4 3/8 from here to here. That means I have about 3.5 inches, 3 1/4 inches going from the brass, the top of the brass, into here. So that puts my tang at, my tang's all the way down into here, and I could have, I drilled past this, I know that. I drilled through all this and I drilled past that. But I made my hole for my tang, or I made my tang too big, and to curve it and shape it the way I like it, like the Rapala, like another Puukko I made that had a full tang. I like that little spot there, and I like this, and this is perfect. The handle's a little long for me, but if you wore gloves, you're out in the woods, you know, I would be perfectly comfortable with this shape and this style. But the kicker is that, again, it's a hidden tang, and I don't know if I'd ever get away from not doing that again, because of the fact that if I made this thinner, maybe, but I'm not comfortable doing that. So I'm going to make another one of these. I am. It's not going to be high on my priority right now. I'm going to finish this one up. I'm going to hand sand it. I want to show you guys what this looks like afterwards. So with that said, I've been babbling too much. I'm going to finish hand sanding this. Then I'm going to finish the profile, clean it all up. I think I even nicked the brass a little bit on here, but I'm going to clean it all up the best I can, get it going really good, and I'll show you guys what it looks like afterwards. But yeah, I guess the wind's kind of burnt out of, blew out of my sails, if you can't tell. I'm a little disappointed in myself. I wanted to try this. I'm not accustomed to, I guess none of us really like to be accustomed to failure, but the OCD and the perfectionist in me really pushes it, and I guess that's why I really worked hard when I first started learning knives. But, am I happy with everything the way it looks now? Yes, I really am. That bothers me a little bit. I'll get used to it, but it's going to be a learning curve. This will be my knife unless, I give it away to somebody if they didn't mind that. Again, it's a learning thing, so if I give it away to somebody, great. If not, then I'll just keep it for myself. But I don't think I can honestly sell something like that was in there. And I don't know if I would ever not make that mistake again. And as a knife maker, you put your money, you put your time into this, and if somebody picks out a certain type of scales and everything, and I make that and that messed up, I have a completely useless knife, and I have a customer that might not want to buy another knife from me because I'm not going to be able to duplicate that wood. Similar, yes, but I won't be able to give that. It's like taking somebody's fingerprint away. So, anyhow, guys, well, I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping over. I thank you for the support. I'm getting tired. It's time for me to go get a cup of coffee, take a shower, and kick back, relax with the kids. Hopefully you appreciate this. I'm sorry if I babbled too long. I'll try to edit this as best as possible. But again, thank you for the support. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that stuff down below is always much appreciated. And again, we'll catch you in the next video. Take care.